Namo Ramana, Bhagavan Sri Ramana Maharshi's teachings. True liberation is our natural state. Self-enquiry is the direct path of realization of the self. Abidance in one's own self is itself the vision of one's self. This is the essence of his teachings. The shining of the self, free from the ego, this is the real penance. Desireless action purifies the mind and shows the way to liberation. If that place where this I originates is searched, that individual I perishes. This is the direct path of knowledge. Poised in one's own nature, devoid of thoughts is the highest form of devotion. If you inquire and observe where this I thought arises from, the mind gets absorbed in, that is tapas. While performing mantra japa, if you inquire and observe where the sound of mantra arises from, the mind gets absorbed it, that is tapas. Attention must be fixed on the I until the feeling of duality disappears. The natural state is the state when the mind is silent, when bliss inundates and consciousness shines in all its fullness. With the individual I thus annihilated, there shines the self by itself as I. It is the supreme infinite being. If we inquire who is the doer and realize that we are not the doer, the doership dies. It is the state of liberation. Knowing God is only being the self. The first step in sadhana is to turn our attention away from the objective world. The second step is to find the self as it really is. The only freedom you have to turn your mind inward. The cessation of the mind is considered as the supreme state of yoga. Action performed with a proper attitude brings about the purification of the mind. Non-duality is the highest devotion. Happiness is the nature of the self. Self-enquiry is the fixing of attention totally on the I thought and tracing it to its source. Self-enquiry is the marvelous alarm which Bhagavan has set to wake us from the dream of life. Even though both the mind and the world rise and set together, it is the mind which lights the world. No one says, I did not exist in the deep sleep. When the I rises, all rises. Thank you.